Hey guys, welcome back. This is me, Sal Mahajan, and in today's video, we're going to be starting our first service provided by Microsoft, and that is the Azure App Service. I'm going to change my color to blue. So, yeah. So, we're going to talk about the Azure App Service. So, what is an Azure App Service? So, an Azure App Service lets you create apps faster with a one of a kind cloud service to quickly and easily create enterprise ready web and mobile apps for any platform or device and to deploy them on a scalable and reliable cloud infrastructure. So this is basically a definition that is provided by Azure. It's basically a service where you can easily deploy web and mobile apps for any type of platform. Yeah. So quickly build, deploy, and scale web apps and APIs on your terms. You can work with .NET, .NET Core, Node, Java, Python, or PHP in containers or Windows and Linux. So basically, you are able to build, deploy and scale your web apps and also APIs too. You can use any of these languages that you prefer. Maybe it's a .NET, maybe it's Node.js, Java, Python, or PHP. Containers over here refers to Docker containers. So you could locally create a Docker container. You can upload that container to Azure App Service and they would deploy using that container. Or if you would prefer to have a Windows-based app service or maybe a Linux-based app service, you could do the same. And again, coming to the last sentence, they say meet rigorous enterprise-grade performance and security compliance requirements with trusted, fully managed services. So again, Azure App Service is a platform as a service. It is a PaaS service provided by Azure, and it is fully managed. So you just need to manage the code and permissions. That's about it. Now, I would like to show you guys one more thing. So this is another diagram that I have. So again, this iterates the same things again. It is a fully managed service with built-in infrastructure, maintenance, security, patching, and scaling. So what do they mean by fully managed? Is that you only need to take care of the code. Everything else, be it patching, infrastructure, security maintenance, or scaling anything, it's all done by Azure. You have built-in continuous integration and continuous delivery. So your CI/CD. So assuming that you have your code on GitHub, you can connect your GitHub to Azure App Service, and on every push, it would deploy your app to App Service. It supports virtual networks and it has an ability to run an isolated and dedicated app service environments. And finally, it has rigorous security and compliance standards, including SOC PCI. PCI is basically used for the credit card industry for seamless deployments in the cloud and Azure government and on-premises. So I hope you guys understood about Azure App Service. Basically, you can deploy any web app or an API with any of these languages that you do prefer, and you can deploy it through Docker, Windows, or Linux. Now we would be opening the Azure portal and we would be creating a web app. So you can go up to the search panel and we can type app service. As you can see, it comes up over here, app services. We can click on app services and you can see your app services open. You can click on create. Once you click on create, give it a time to load and you can see your app service program is open. Again, we go to the definition that I've already Azure has provided to us. I can zoom it a bit in so you guys are able to see. App service webs allow you to build, deploy, and scale enterprise grade apps for web, mobile, and APIs. So product details. So first of all, your resource subscription. If you had create a free account, it would be as pay as you go. Next, coming to our resource group, again, I had created a resource group that is Azure 101. I would be selecting that. You can create that. Assuming that you have not created a resource group, you could click on create new and you can choose whatever name you want. Again, I would be putting a name for my app service. Again, I would be going with Azure 101, 101. Okay, it's not available. Maybe Azure Dash 101. Okay, YouTube Azure. Yeah, so YouTube Azure 101. I'll go with YouTube Azure 101. And you want your publish type. So what would you like to use? Would you like to use code? to deploy your application, or would you like to use a Docker container, or would you like it to be a static web app? So for this example, I will be going with the code. You can select your runtime stack. For me, again, you can see you have .NET, you have Java, you have Node, you have PHP, you have Python, you have Ruby too. For this, you could select anyone. I would just be going with Java 11. Again, you can choose your Java web server stack. For this, I would just be sticking with the embedded web server. Operating system, again, it's your choice. You would like to go with Linux or Windows. I'll be sticking with Linux. And your region. You could choose any region you do like, but normally the region should be decided according to where your customers are. Assuming that your customers are sitting in central, the majority of your customers are sitting in central India, I would prefer you to select any data center that is available in India. But for this case, I would leave it as central US. Now we're coming to our app service plan. So what is an app service plan? Again, an app service plan pricing tier determines the location, features, cost, and compute resources associated with your application. So basically, you are telling Azure how much compute power do you want. So what I could do is, as you can see, I already have an app service here, but I will click on create new, and I will name this as Azure dash 101. Perfect. I'm going to click on OK. Once I do click on OK, it will ask you SKU and size. So I'm going to click on change size, and once you click on change size, this page should load up. That will show you dev test, production, and isolated. We will be going to the dev and test because we have a lesson. I just want to show you guys for an example. If you guys are on the free tier, I would recommend you to choose the F1 slot because it is completely free. Again, according to that, you can choose other resources. For example, you require about 1.75 GB memory. You can go with that. You can go with maybe 3.5 7 GB, or you could even go for production slots. So this all at the end basically, you know, tells you how much compute you tell Azure how much compute power you want. For this demo, I'm going to be choosing F1. That's the free. I'm going to click on apply. As you can see, it says free 1 GB. Here we go. Perfect. Zone redundancy not required as of right now. We can move on to deployment. Once we do go to deployment, so this is your continuous deployment and integration. As of right now, I will be keeping this disabled. Of course, you can enable this afterwards, and I will be showing you a video on how you can do that. You can go to monitoring, this is basically Azure Monitor, so application insights. So if you do enable this, this will log every single thing that is happening with your application, basically from a code point of view. This is really important, assuming that you want to debug your you want to debug your application. You are facing quite a lot, excuse me, you're facing quite a lot of issues, and you would like to debug your application. Next, you can go to tags. I leave these quite empty. And then you can go to review and create. As you can see, it was running validation. Validation was successful. You can see we are deploying a web app. It's by Microsoft. We're using the free SKU, our subscription resource group, and the name of our web app. Our publish method would be code. We're using a runtime stack of Java, and we're using a Java embedded server. These are our planned services, so the operating system, Linux, what region, and then free and how much memory we do get. We have not enabled application insights, so that's off, and also we have not enabled continuous deployment, hence that's off. You can go ahead and click on create. Once you click on create, you will be getting in your notifications that submitting the deployment template for resource group Azure 101. As you can see, once it has been sent for deployment, this page will open up. This page will basically give you an overview about your deployment in progress, what resources have been created, and what are their status. So we'll just wait for a second. I would like to show you guys how does it show. As you can see, um, Azure resource Azure 101, and then it tells you that this is a type of Microsoft.web/server farm. It's giving you a status of okay. If you would like to view operation details, you could open the operation details and also view the same. And you can just give it about 5 minutes, and not even 5 minutes. Here you go. Within 2 minutes or a minute itself, your deployment is complete. You can click on go to resource. And now this is your resource. YouTube Azure 101, your resource group, your status is running, location Central US, your subscription, your whatever, and this is your URL to access your app service, and this is your app service plan, which is Azure 101, the free version that we took, and these are your FTP details. Now, again, just to show you guys, you can click on the website and give it about a few seconds. It would load up with the basic boiler template of Azure. Okay, we wait for that to load. As for that does load, I will just give you a run through about the um, side panel of Azure App Service. We'll be diving in detail later on, but again, you have access control, basically who you want to give permission to access this resource. You have your diagnose and solve problems. This is really important in case you're having any issues with your virtual machine, you would be able to view it over here. You have security events, you have your deployment center. So you have quick start, deployment slots, and deployment center. Deployment center is where you would go for enabling your CI and CD using GitHub or maybe Azure repos or a local Git. You have your settings where you could set your configurations. You have your authentication, application insights. Again, the place where you can view your issues with your code and any exceptions have come up or something like that. You have identity backups. You want to take backups of your app service at regular times. You can do that, assuming you have a custom domain. So you have a custom domain and you would like to link it up with this app service. You could do that here too. You have your SSL settings, and then you do have your network settings. So this will be really important. So in network settings, if you open up, you would be having outbound IP addresses. You can use these IP addresses are basically used for calling databases. So if your database does have a firewall protection, you would need to add in all of these IP addresses. Then you have your scale up and scale out. We will be talking more about scale up and scale out in the next few videos, but yes, you can do that too. You have web jobs, push notifications, and then you have server connector properties, logs, and then this is your app service plan in case you are currently on the free. So if I can just go back up to overview, as you can see, we are currently on the free plan. If this can load up. Anyways, yeah, you can see as we're on the free plan. So if case you want to increase this app service, you can go and change your app service plan. Deployment tools, if you want to clone the application, you want to SSH into the web server, you want some advanced tools. Your API management, especially cores. So this is where you can add in your domain names so you do not face any course issues. And your monitoring, where we have alerts, metrics, logs, health check, Diagnostics app service log and log stream. So a log stream is basically your in real time streams of your service. Then you have some automation if you want to have some automated task. And then finally, we have support and troubleshooting where you can verify, you check your resource health. You can get advisories from app service, and you can also create a new support request, assuming you do have a support subscription. So this is a bit all about it about app service. So in this we again this is loaded up, so you can say hey Java developers because we deployed an Java application, and then you can accordingly follow the quick start or whatsoever is comfortable according to you. So I think this is about it for this video, and in this video we basically covered about what is an app service, what are the features, what runtime stacks can be used, and we also went to the Azure portal and we deployed an app service. This app service, again, I showed you guys how you can deploy an app service on your own, and then how does to make sure the app service is working. And on top of that, I gave you an overview about the left-hand panel on Azure App Service. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did like the video, please make sure to leave a like and to subscribe. Do share this with your friends, and if you'd like any other content that you would like me to cover, please do make sure you leave a comment for the same and I would create a video on it. Hope you guys have a great day. See ya. Take care. Bye bye.